Hi, my name is Dennis, and I'm here hopefully to help somebody somewhere. Here to talk about addiction, alcoholism, obsession, maybe anybody that's a little unbalanced right now. And so I'm here to help because that's what we do. Cicero once said that it is the duty of the old to teach the young. And for us, it's the duty of the sober to teach the not sober or the people that are trying to get sober. Anyway, so just to let you know, I come from a place of experience. I drank obsessively and compulsively for 16 years, and I've been sober for a good many years, more than the 16. And so I'm here to hopefully give a little bit of helpful words from the fellowship. And so I went back and forth on how I was going to start this, what was the best way to start, and I went all over the place. And so actually the most obvious and important thing came to me, which was how I really started the journey, which was by hearing something written, something that was spoken at a meeting, which was, you don't have to be alone anymore. It's an interesting way to put it because they're not saying you're not alone. They're saying you don't have to be alone anymore, as if we know you're alone and it's kind of your own making, it's not your fault, but there's obviously a cage that's been created that you can't get out of, and that's why we're here. So when I heard that at first, it lent me some pause. I was like, wow, that's kind of an interesting thing for me to hear at this point, because at this point I was desperate. So what happens when you are in addiction, when you are thinking obsessively, when you are in alcoholism? You start immediately keeping secrets, lots of secrets. You start lying to yourself and lying to everybody else. You create a world on the outside that's very different from the world inside. And it gets worse. It gets worse and worse and worse. And you're holding it all together. You're trying to hold it all together. It gets harder and harder, right? I've been in, I don't know how many rehabs and detoxes in my younger years. And I never really opened up. I never felt comfortable or trusted anyone with what was going on in my mind. I was not going to let that out. That was top secret stuff. But when I heard this at an AA meeting, it kind of felt different, because these people were not therapists. They were not being paid. They were not psychologists or psychiatrists or therapists or anything like that. These were just some plumbers and electricians and lawyers and just businessmen and salesmen and retired women and retired men and all sorts of just people, right? And they were here to stay sober and to help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. At first, that was a lot to swallow, and I didn't swallow it all at once, but I did sort of put it in my back pocket as saying, wow, that's kind of important. I think I could actually use this. So as time went on, those secrets became less secretive, because I would hear people saying the exact same thing that I went through. They were going through the exact same stuff that I was going through, and they were thinking the same way I was thinking. So I really wasn't alone. Now, what ended up happening is these people, they knew me better than I knew me. They knew my nature, right? They didn't even know my last name. I didn't know their last name. But they knew my nature. And I started talking more and more. And I started having one-on-one conversations with people, one-on-one. It took me a long time to really open up and tell people. I did get a sponsor, which changed a lot. But the point I'm trying to make is that we created this prison, not by our own choice, right? That'll come later, right? But just we created this prison and we felt no way to get out. No way to get out. We were stuck here. but we don't have to be. That was a key for, you don't have to be, right? I'm not saying, you're not. We're just saying you don't have to be. That did change everything for me, and it changed for a lot of people. Some people say when they heard that, a tear came to their eyes, or it just really changed your world, right? You're just thinking a whole new possibility right now. And it is the beginning. It is like a key that's going into a rusty lock, and it is the right key, but it's still not working perfectly. So it takes time, right? It takes time. And a lot of the things that happen are the secrets break down and the lies stop, and you start getting a little more honest with yourself. It is the beginning. It is the beginning. And it's a wonderful beginning. And so I'm going to leave it at that, because you don't have to be alone anymore. And next time I'll talk about something else that's similar from the very beginning. Thanks, and I hope you have a great day.